back in the trap, RinsRealRap, all facts, no cap, home of music, sports, and culture. I'm your host, Loco, and I got my special guest, Chesley, in the building.
Ash for the cash, I'm here.
And thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. I know you've been busy, selling houses and everything. You're doing everything towards your business.
I try.
AshForTheCash.com.
AshForTheCash.com. Ash, the number 4, thecash.com.
You be doing a lot of good things. I see you on Instagram. You got like music. You doing like your marketing. You got personality. Like,
I try.
I like what you're doing.
Real estate is a real saturated industry, so you gotta do something in this industry to set you apart from everybody else. So nobody else is doing videos, like music videos. Nobody else is rapping. So it's like, that's me. Like, you'll catch me, like, I used to work at a bank, so you'll catch me 9 to 5, dressed like this. I'm going to be like, hi. And then you're going to catch me on a 5 to 9, and I'm going to be like, hey, girl. So you're going to get both sides.
And that's a good thing, like, as far as, like, being real with your clients, because they can see both sides of you. It's not just a corporate side. It's not just a business side. You got a fun side.
You're going to get all of me.
And that's good with your client, because I see that you talk to them all the time.
I do.
Like, you answer your phone, you do follow-ups, you do everything good. So that's a good thing.
I try. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, I try. Like, I mean, sometimes we all slip. I can do a little bit better. But, yeah, I try to do as much as I can to be in my clients, like, involved in their personal life and everything. Sometimes people got stuff going on and you get so wrapped up in yourself sometimes. So I try to not only be like Ashley the professional, but I'm Ash for the cash too. I'm still gonna be here for you. I'm a real person.
So you're a real estate agent, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm a real estate agent.
So what was your past job?
I worked at the bank for 7 years. I was a personal banker at Bank of America.
So did you like it?
I worked there for 7 years. It was okay. Right, so that's why. So you trying to trip me up? I said I worked there for 7 years.
I get it, but okay, we're gonna leave it alone.
So did I like it? I worked there, but.
Yeah, well, I get it. So
no, it was cool. I think it gave me a lot of different experiences that I would have never had working there, and then it also allowed me to network with a lot of people that I would have never came into contact with, and that's how I was able to succeed when I first started real estate. My first house sale was to one of my clients from Bank of America. So
so because you built that network, you built that
absolutely
that understanding between.
As soon as I left, I told everybody, and the rest is history. My first client was one of my bank clients. So word of mouth.
What gave you the courage to actually try something new? You've been doing it for 7 years.
I've been complaining. I have been complaining. Like, I hate working my job. I hate being here. And just complaining to the right person. Somebody was in my ear telling me, like, man, what are you still at that job for? And it was like, I kept on saying, because I can't, like, leave. I'm secure. And then once I got rid of that, like, fear that I'm not going to have security if I don't have this job, the rest was endless. I left the job and stopped thinking about security and started thinking about making my business succeed. And when I started doing that, the possibilities were endless.
So what was your plan on leaving? Because I know you said you've been there for 7 years, so I know you had to obtain a license and everything as far as like your real estate license. So what was the thing like as far as like what was your build up to actually getting the motivation to leave?
I will tell you the truth. Like, I didn't even have a plan. And, you got a lot of naysayers. So when I started telling all my friends, like, I'm thinking about leaving the bank. I'm thinking about doing real estate full time. Everybody was like, what? You make over $60,000? You about to leave that guaranteed money for what? Real estate? What if you don't sell a house? So it was like, you got all of the bad stuff in your ear. You got everybody. You got the good angel and the bad devil. So I had people from both sides. So it was like I kind of had to block everybody else out and then realize, like, you know what, if this is what I want to do, win, lose, or draw, like, I'm going to do it. And luckily for me, like I said, I haven't looked back since. Like, it was a great step towards what I wanted to do. So, like, for anybody out there, if you're scared because of what you think might not happen, you just have to do it. And just doing it sometimes is what, even if you fail, you learn a lesson. So it's never a failure. So it was a great experience, and I'm never looking back.
So I'm going to start with your background. What part of Baltimore are you from?
I'm from West Baltimore. I grew up on Yale Avenue.
Oh, you from Yale Heights?
Yale Heights.
Zone 29. Shout out to Zone 29. Y'all got a fine real estate agent making that happen and represent y'all area.
I tried.
So what high school you went to?
I went to Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. Poly. Yes.
Yeah, Poly in the building.
Yes, Poly parents. Yes, I went there. We're so much better than City, just so y'all can know.
Shout out to City too, but Poly. Anybody outside of Baltimore, Poly is one of our biggest schools in the city. Like Poly
it's
City,
the biggest. It's
Western,
the
like,
top
school.
We beat this other school that's named City. It's a rival thing.
You
but
you go to sports
I'm
games?
not in sports, but I just know Poly is the best school. So I just wanted
I
just wanted to make that known. I just wanted to make that known. I went to the best school ever. You know.
Shout out to everybody at Poly. Y'all represent Poly and Westman represent their schools
till the death. Till the death.
I see people, even City College. Like I see people that have them
BPI forever.
From 1920 representing, so like ain't that
BPI over any Poly City games, everything. BPI over everything. We're always gonna, and it's Poly City. It's not City Poly. Just so y'all can know.
So as far as like your neighborhood, what was the influence in your neighborhood? Like you growing up?
Well, really growing up, I didn't think anything about real estate growing up. I just knew I was going to be an actress. So,
so you thought you was going
I was around the neighborhood. You could catch me like climbing up the trees. You could catch me trying to be this person, trying to be that person. I just knew I was going to be a star when I was little. And then life hit, and I was just like, okay, well maybe I got to start thinking about some other things.
Like realistic shit. Like.
you know, life's hit. You know.
So, what was your as far as your mother? What was your mother role in your life, as far as like coming up?
My mom, single mom, strong single mom. So she raised me and my 2 siblings. So I'm the baby, of course. So it was, I can't even say it was rough growing up, but I was real, I grew up in a real strict, structured household. My mother was very strict, even though it was just her, like she didn't play. So I couldn't go out to parties. I never been to.
You can't go to the house party back in the day?
Nope. I never been to a house party in high school. Never been to a kitty disco. Nope. I heard K Slip on the radio when my mother was riding and she got out the car and I could change the radio, but that was it. No, I missed all of those fun times, but it made me who I am. I was in the books. I was the person I was reading when everybody else was going to parties because I couldn't go to parties. So.
Oh, so you was just educating yourself.
Yep.
Like your mother forced you to read.
She didn't force me to read, but yeah, at first it would be like the only way I can get away from reality, and reading is just like you can go into a different world. So it was like, yes, even though I have to be here, I don't have to be here mentally. So
after Poly, after you graduated from Poly, what was your endeavors after you graduated?
I went to A&T, Aggie Pride.
That's North Carolina A&T.
North Carolina A&T. And I think at A&T is kind of where I became myself. Like I started modeling there, and I just came into my own.
Model? What model treat you?
Couture models. No, I really modeled. I really ripped those runways. You can really check my videos. Hold on. Check my y'all can go back on Facebook. Look, Facebook memories, go back. Y'all can see me ripping the runway. I just ripped the runway a couple weeks ago too. I had a little modeling competition a couple weeks ago. But yeah, when I was at A&T, I started modeling. And I just kind of came into myself. That's when I realized like, oh, who Ashley is as a person. And I think, as we grow, I'm still growing into myself, but college is where I started to become who I am.
So how long did you attend A&T?
For 3 years.
Oh, so what was your major?
My computer science.
What was your minor?
I didn't have a minor.
I know.
And first of all, when I first went to school, computer science was my major. Then it was like,
that's funny.
You know what?
It's so broad.
You know what? Computer science is crazy, and that's why I don't have a degree. No, computer science is like you have computer engineering, and that's like the actually putting together of the computers and everything, and then computer science is like the networking and the systems and your Wi-Fi and how you make everything internally work. And it's probably wrong explanation, so don't hold me to the explanation, guys. And that's probably why I didn't get a degree in computer science, because it wasn't for me.
But you got your foundation, you got your structure, and you got like a lot of things that
I got way more than a degree at college, and like my years from that I spent at A&T and my years that I spent in North Carolina, because I stayed there for 6 years after I left school. Those years, like I said, really shaped and made me who I am now. So besides the actual school, it just the interacting, like being in a different place. I grew up in Baltimore. I'm in North Carolina with people from everywhere. It's in Greensboro. So you had people from everywhere, literally everywhere. So yes, and so it was like a different experience. And that, like I said, I became who I am because I got to meet so many different people from so many different walks of life. And then you realize like, oh, where you're from is really small and your experiences are really small compared to a whole world of people. Yes. So it was a great experience.
So what was your best HBCU experience?
I think my best HBCU experience was when Eva, the diva, the best walker ever, told me that I had the best walk ever. And that was my freshman year. So I think that was probably like my best experience because then I was like just coming out of my shell. And just like, she was then like the shortest model. She had just won America's Next Top Model. And I'm like a real short model. So it was like, she just told me I'm the best model what? So I was like, yes, I am everything. Like somebody tell me I can't walk. Like, so yeah. She said it, so it was like no matter what nobody else said for the rest of my time at school, like Eva told me I was the best walker, so like that's all that matters. Like that was all. So
you weren't involved in a band or anything?
No.
Activities?
No. I was in National Society of Black Engineers because I was computer engineer major, but so I was in that, and that allowed me a lot of experiences as well. I met a lot of different people in there, but yeah, besides that, college, I should have gotten into more, and I wish I would have done more, but I didn't.
Hey, that's what everybody says.
Yeah,
sometimes you just take advantage of the time that you're there because you have other responsibilities and other things going.
And then life
happens.
Go
quick. Like,
it does.
Years go past so quick, especially after you turn 20.
Right, I was like, before you know it, you're 25 and you're like, what?
So, as far as after like HBCU, so your college. So, what was your thing with real estate? What was your first inkling that you wanted to do real estate?
Honestly, I worked. I told you I worked at the bank, and I had one of my customers that came in the bank, and she was a widowed lady. Husband passed away. She had a rental property. Husband used to take care of the rental property, so she was at a point where, look, I'm tired of taking care of this property. She wanted to try and refinance it and fix it up and sell it because it had a hole in the roof. It had so many issues. And her tenants in there were, of course, complaining. She just was at the point where she was frustrated. So she came to the bank and tried to get help for it, and they weren't able to help her because of her situation. She was a housewife. She never had anything. Her husband did everything. So she was just like frustrated, and me wanting to help everyone like I always do. I was just like, oh, I have to help you. So I took it on as like my personal project. I'm like, I'm going to help you figure out what we can do. And then the only option, she was like, I just want to sell it. And I said, all right, well, I'm going to try and help you sell it. And I ended up talking to some people from the bank because I knew everyone, and I ended up talking to a wholesaler, and he was like, well, I can wholesale it, you can wholesale it together, and I didn't know what wholesaling was.
That wholesale term? Because like,
so wholesaling
and being a real estate agent is two different things.
Yes, it is. So wholesaling is basically when you middleman a real estate transaction.
Okay.
So you're a seller. And so let's say you're a seller, you have a property you want to sell, but you have no idea of how to sell it, who to sell it to, and I'm a wholesaler. I have a whole lot of buyers that I know, a whole lot of people who have the money to purchase a property. So what I do is I said, hey, I can help you find someone to purchase your house, and for that, you just need to pay me a fee. Okay. So that's what a wholesaler does. You don't actually own any property. You're not a real estate agent, so you just actually help the seller find a buyer for their house, and for that help, you get paid a fee.
So what type of fee is it? Is it like a certain percentage of each deal,
so
each deal varies?
That's where wholesaling gets. That's why a lot of people don't like wholesaling, and a lot of people say wholesaling is scamming because.
Why do you say scamming?
Because with real estate, we have standards. It's like with a sale, you're either going to get 6% or 3%. It's a standard on what everybody usually charges. Whereas with wholesaling, I can wholesale a property. I can charge you $5,000. I can charge you $10,000. I can charge you whatever I decide. Okay. And that's the good and the bad thing about it, because you may have a property and you don't know that your property is worth $100,000, and you say, "Hey, all I need is $40,000," and I know that property is worth $100,000, so I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm going to give you $40,000." Then I'm going to go tell the next person, "Hey, I got a property for $80,000. I just made $40,000."
Oh.
So that's bad business. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't say Ashley told y'all to do that. It's a hustle.
Okay.
So it's you just the way you make your name in wholesaling is to be a good wholesaler and to make sure that you're not doing people like that. Yeah, you don't want to make the same thing that your buyer makes. You want to make the whole point is you want to make sure that people are in a good situation so that they keep coming back to you and they refer business to you. So if you always do good business, you'll always get more business back in return. So taking $40,000 off a $40,000 deal is not good business.
It's definitely not, especially in the long run. You want to make sure that it can come back because in the long term you might make $150,000.
Right, so off of the 5 or 6 people that they're going to send you because you now helped someone who was in distress and really needed to sell a house.
Because buying a house is a stressful process.
It's definitely stressful.
How do you maintain your patience dealing with people in the home buyer situation?
Y'all see my videos, right? Y'all saw my videos, right? Yep. Thank you. Yes, I have all your information in here now. I'm gonna send you an email with a couple things for you to look over. And yeah, so my hours are 9 to 8 p.m. You can call me anytime, Monday through Saturday. I typically take Sundays off. Yeah, just a little bit of time for the family. Yeah, but if you need to reach me on Sunday, just text me and I'll get back to you first thing Monday morning, okay? This house. Oh, this is perfect. I'd rather be an AGENT. Hey, Miss Bess. Yeah, I saw the house that you sent me. Yes, I see that you've been calling me all day. Yes, I got the messages. I told you Sunday is my family day. Yeah, so I got the house that you sent me. We're going to go see it tomorrow. Yep. Yes, it was my pleasure. Yep. I will see you tomorrow. Yep. Okay. So, that's why I do skits. I do my skits and my videos. I don't know if y'all had to check out my skits and my videos. So I like to do the skits and the videos. It's like my making light up the situations that I deal with these customers sometimes. Because sometimes people, y'all don't understand. I'm a businessman. So sometimes people take it as I might be somebody's best friend. I might be your confidant. I might be a counselor for the day. I might be your girlfriend for the day. Like people just think that as a real estate agent, I wear a whole bunch of hats, and it's like sometimes I have to say like, let's reel it in. Like this is what we're here for. So I think you deal with a lot of personalities, and you have to find a fun way to deal with everyone and not get upset. And so my fun way is I do skits. That's how I release it. So if you see yourself in one of my skits clients, just know it's all in good fun and I love y'all.
So as far as like the home buying process, so somebody coming to you for a first time home buyer, what would be the process?
First time home buyers, and I actually, if you want to know about this, email me, ashforthecash.com. You can come to my website. But as far as first time home buyers, the first thing you're going to want to do is talk to a lender. A lot of times people say, all right, I'm a first time home buyer, and they want to just jump out there and start looking for houses. Right. But you can't, and this is the one thing I say, you can't go look for a house if you don't know how much you are approved for, because now you're looking blindly. That's just like when you go to look for a car, they're going to tell you, their first thing they're going to do is they're going to say, let me run your credit and see how much of a car you can afford. It's the same thing with a house. You don't go start looking for a house before you talk to a lender first to see how much you can afford.
You basically have to have a budget first.
You have to have a budget first. You have to talk to a lender first. So that lender is going to, based on your income, based on your credit, based on your assets and any debt that you have, they're going to say, this is how much house you can afford on paper. And then from that, Now I have something to go by. They're going to tell me, hey, they can afford $200,000. Now we can go start looking for houses.
Right.
But you don't want to start looking for houses and you see a house that's $300,000. Then you go talk to your lender and they say, oh, we can only get you $200,000. Now you're mad at your lender. Now you're mad at me because
I always see people say that. I always see a lot of
they couldn't get me approved for this loan.
Yeah.
No, you started looking for a house before you had a loan. That's the difference.
I always hear agents say they don't have the money. Like they keep coming to me, they don't have the money, so you have to have the budget.
Money first, then house. So
what would be like the actual credit score for them to actually start off?
And that's not a cookie cutter answer. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a lender, so I don't really quote those type of things. Okay. But you do want to have a credit score above about 620, 650, because and this is the one thing I would say, just like with credit cards, just like with buying a car, the lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate. And when you think about a house, this is over 30 years. You don't want to be paying a large interest rate over 30 years. Instead of having a great credit score over 30 years, you can have a great interest rate. So that's the one thing I tell people. You can buy a house with a lower credit score, but why would you want to put yourself in that situation to over 30 years have to pay more when you can work on your credit and pay less over 30 years? So it's just kind of figuring out what situation works best for you, and everyone's situation is different.
Oh, so you got to do a process? It's like a 10-step process? Or it's like a home buyer's guide?
Yep, I do have a home buyer's guide too. Email me if y'all want a home buyer's guide. chesleyhomes.com or chesleyhomes@gmail.com. But I do have like a whole and I put it in like a little game form. It looks like a Monopoly board, so it kind of helps people go through the steps, but it literally tells you step by step what you have to do in order to become a homeowner. So in addition to talking to your lender, you're also going to want to have a little bit of money saved. You're going to do first time home buyer classes if you are a first time home buyer. So it literally goes through all of the steps and progression. It tells you terms that you're going to need to know, and it's just going to let you know, like, all right, if I'm just walking into this blind and I have no idea, it's literally going to tell you everything that you need to know.
So how long is it though? Like, far as like what would be the average read of it? Like, far as start now, is it like extensive, far as like complex, or is like a simple guide?
It's a simple guide. Actually, my game board that I made, my Monopoly game board, like I said, is set up just like a Monopoly board. It has about maybe 20 spaces on there, so that you can kind of go through like a game. It's quick. And then I have my actual guide that's about maybe 10 pages, 12 pages. It's not a lot. The majority of the guide is just terms and things that people don't know, which I'm also doing a term talk. I had one last week with Daniel Mack from NFM Lending, and it's just kind of it's on my page. Yep, and you can catch that on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's also going to be on my YouTube channel. So in my term talk, I'm just going to be educating people about different real estate terms that they don't know. A lot of times when you go and buy a house, the thing that's most intimidating to people is the talk. A lot of times people are not right. A lot of times you're not going to want to say, "Oh, I don't understand what you're saying." You're going to be like, and it's going to be confusing. So it's like I want to break down those terms so that you don't feel embarrassed when you don't know something in buying a house, and so that you feel more confident when you do walk into a home purchasing class, or when you walk into an office with your lender and they say APR, you can say, "Oh, all right, I know what APR is," and then they talk about interest rates, so I know exactly what that is. Oh, equity, I know what equity is. So there's certain things that you should just know, and a lot of us don't know. I never knew what equity was until I worked at a bank. I didn't know what.
Can you explain that? Like, as far as equity, like, because I know a lot of people hear about it, but they don't know like the actual detail behind it.
Yep, and so y'all gotta catch out my term talk. Y'all gotta come to term talk, and term talk we're gonna tell you. But just like a little quick, equity is the amount that your house is worth, or the amount that something is worth, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a house. So the amount that something is worth minus what you owe on it. So if you owe nothing and whatever you have is worth $100,000, then the equity in it is $100,000. So that's just how that works, just simple math. So when you're buying a house, the key is to buy something that has a lot of equity so that you have flexibility to be able to do different things and I'm not going to get into all the different things that you can do with equity. You can definitely email me or check out my page if you want to know a little bit more, but equity is how we use our houses to build wealth. Right. So,
and you can take money out for far as equity and stuff.
Right.
Like that?
So, yeah, that's why I was saying I'm not going to really get too much into it. But, yes, so with equity, you can use the equity that you have in your house to be able to take out loans to purchase other houses, to purchase other, properties, businesses, anything. So, really, when we say that real estate is a wealth building tool, it really is a wealth building tool, and you just have to learn to use it the proper way. And that's all. And that's why my goal is to educate people, because a lot of people think.
When is YouTube channel coming out?
I'm telling you, the YouTube. So I do have my YouTube channel, y'all. I tell y'all, like, I really need an assistant. Anybody out there, call me. But I think I get overwhelmed sometimes because I have listing clients, I have buying clients, I do videos, I have a child, I'm a single parent, so I have like a lot of hats that I wear in a day. So sometimes I get overwhelmed and I get home and I look at YouTube and I'm like, I'm gonna do that next week. So YouTube is definitely going to be out because I have a lot of videos, and not like I said, I do the music videos, and in addition to that, I also want to.
What music videos you did? Like, tell me what music videos you did. You guys know what you did.
Well. I do like parodies of different songs and I turn them into real estate. So I redid Whoa by Little Baby.
Yeah,
I redid Megan Thee Stallion. So I can't say the real word that hers is, but I changed the song into AGENT so you can kind of figure out which song it was. So I did her song, and I also did Rosewood. What is that song?
Hold on. I know. What song is that?
Why would you switch out the best for the rest? That's all I know is because I can't even hear the real song anymore because all I hear is my song when I hear it on the radio. I can only hear my song. Yes, I didn't even Moneybag, yo, I'm so sorry, but I just bodied your song. So
you want to take my man's song.
I bodied it, but it's just real estate. I'm not making no money. It was just for fun. It was, don't see me. Don't see me, though. Don't see me, please don't see me. But no, like every time I hear the song, I can't even hear his song anymore because I just killed it. Like I love doing like fun, real estate. I mean, I really just started, and it's not something that I do. I'm not a rapper. I'm not. I'll make that disclaimer. Don't ask me for bars. Don't ask me. I can't freestyle sometimes, but don't ask me for
freestyle. So when do you freestyle?
So I freestyle when Ash for the Cash is off and she's in her personal time and she's having one of those days, and y'all catch me on the real Ash for the Cash day. Then y'all gonna see me freestyling and having fun. But my music videos that's like my alter ego. So you have the Ash always selling houses, that's the real estate agent. And then you have the Ash for the Cash, that's fun. Do the music videos, I do the skits, and you're gonna see the real me. So
I like how you have two personalities.
You're going to get both of them. You're going to get the real and you're going to get the real. So
how has the pandemic affected your business?
I would say with the pandemic, at first it wasn't really affecting my business because I still had so many closings that were lined up when the pandemic first hit. But I will say now that it's more regulations and restrictions on how we can operate, it just made it a little bit more difficult. Whereas now I have new listings. Usually I would have done an open house for my new listings. We can't do open houses the same way we used to. So it just has transitioned the way that I do business. But I still have quite an active pipeline of clients, and I have 4 listings. I have about 10 people that I'm working with right now actively. I have 3 under contract right now, and I just sold one last week. So I'm doing okay. I'm not going to say I'm doing great because there are some people that close 3 and 4 in a month. So I wouldn't say I'm doing great, but I will say I'm still maintaining. I'm doing good.
Is it like a protocol that your firm did when the pandemic happened?
It's not even just my firm, like the industry as a whole. Like the Maryland Real Estate Commission, like just basically tells us what we can and can't do. So we just gotta listen. Just like the law, same thing.
So what's this Women of Wealth?
Women of Wealth is my baby. Women of Wealth is still in its transitioning period. It's still growing, but Women of Wealth is a business that I started with my best friend, and it was really something that I had in mind for years. Like I've been wanting to do a network or a collaboration of women from different industries, because I feel like a lot of times, especially in real estate, it's a mainly male-dominated industry. Besides like actual agents, you think most of your contractors are men, most of your appraisers are men, most of the people who your roofers. A lot of the different things in real estate itself is not dominated by women. So my goal when I first started was like, I want to be able to, and then a lot of times we pause on this, a lot of times we as women don't know, and I feel like I'm not going to say we get taken advantage of, so to say, but a lot of times just our ignorance, we don't know what we should expect. And my goal was, I wish I had a whole bunch of women I can go to and be like, all right, how much is a house cost to get flipped? And I can get a real answer. How much is it to get a room renovated in this house? And it's like, sometimes I want to be able to get a real answer without getting I could charge you $10,000, but it's really a $2,000 job.
Okay,
so
got you.
it was like my goal was like, let me have some women that I feel like is going to be on my side and I can go to. Yes, so it started as that, like, it's going to be a unification of women, and at first it was going to be in real estate, people who had something to do with real estate, and then I was just like, well, why make it real estate?
That could be big. That could be sports.
It could be beauty, everything, and that's why I said, why make it just real
big.
estate? I just wanted to expand it to be just, that's why I made it Women of Wealth, because wealth can be in anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be real estate, but I wanted all of us to have everything. I wanted all of us to have a place where we can come, and if you need a hairdresser today, you need a nails person tomorrow, you need a real estate agent, you need, if anything you need, you go to Women of Wealth, and you know you're going to be able to find someone in your industry or someone in the industry that you need, because Women of Wealth provides that. And so that's exactly why I started Women of Wealth. So
when did you start that?
I started it actually started last year, and we had our first event. It was major. We had about 20 people that turned out, and to me, I was discouraged because I wanted like 100. So I was like, oh, it sucks. I didn't have 100 people. But it was like, after I really sat back and reflected, it was like, for me to be able to bring out still 20 people, 20 women that was willing to work and network with me and bring everything together, it was amazing. And because I've gotten a little bit busy on business, I've put my baby to the side, but I'm about to pick my baby back up and take care of her. I've been neglecting my baby, so that's.
You have an IG page or?
I do. We do have an IG, and we have a Facebook for it. It's Women of Wealth, Women of Wealth MD on IG and on Facebook. And so on there, you'll see our mission. You'll see the different women that we have collaborated with. So going forward, we are gonna start getting into the community giveaways. We're going to start getting a little bit more involved in doing exactly what I said. Like, my goal in starting Women of Wealth was to bring together women so that we can build our wealth, and that's exactly what my goal is.
Is there any men that can help with, like, is it just, what about the men?
Let me make this disclaimer. Women of Wealth is very men friendly. You can men bring all the women you know to Women of Wealth. So it's not like it's not like a man bashing, right? So yes, support it. It's definitely not like a man bashing, like clan or anything. So I definitely want, I want all of our men to support us and everything, because just like we support you guys, we need support as well. So it's definitely, like I said, it's something where I want you to not only just say, oh, that's what Ashley's doing. Yeah, bring someone, bring a woman that you know that I might not know. Everyone knows a woman that's trying to start doing something. And right now with the pandemic and what's going on, you have to find different ways to make different streams of income, because a lot of people aren't working. And a lot of people who are working, even if you are working, you're not working your same hours, you're not getting your same pay. So It's not. So we all have to find ways to change our generational curses, so to say, so that we can build generational wealth. And the only way we can do that is through networking. Like my ultimate goal is to build everyone up, and I can't get to the top by myself. I need you, I need everybody to help me. Well, we need help. You can't do it on your own.
No, that's a good thing, because even when we helped with Black Wall Street with Jason, like, it was, even with Basha, MK, like different people that we all came together, like Purple Plates, just different entities that came together. Like
shout out Yanni, shout out Charm City. What is it, Charm City?
Black Wall Street,
Charm City,
yes.
And Yanni Purple Place Chat. So they actually volunteer every Thursday, and I was really happy that this week they asked me to volunteer. It was my first time volunteering with them, and it was an amazing experience, and it's something that I want to, like I said, start doing with Women of Wealth. So that's definitely something I want to partner with them on, because not only are we getting out in our community, but we're changing what people think of us as young people, because a lot of times they think that we're just consumers. We buy stuff, we sit at home on the internet and everything, and we're just showing a different side.
So what's your future plans?
So my future plans, like, I'm going to be a mogul in the making. So my future plans is to have a shopping center. I really want to own an entire shopping center. I want to have every store in there Black owned, and I want to make sure that I'm doing my part to better my community. I also have my dream is to have not only rehab houses, but have houses for single parents. And I don't like to say single moms, because I do know a lot of single dads as well that do a great job. Great job. And single dads, I think, yes, I think they get like a bad rap. Well, not a bad rap, but they don't get enough credit. Yes. So I want to have something that helps single parents by itself, because as a single parent, when you work, you don't get help because you work. Yeah, and so it's like I can't get help from the state because I work, but then I don't make enough for my job. Right. So it's still like you're in this catch-22 where it's like I don't want to not provide for my son the best, but I still don't want to have to be on any type of assistance because I'm, trying to do what I need to do. So sometimes you just need a little boost and you need a little help, and that's where I want to come in. I want to be able to provide those different resources, whereas daycare is high and everybody don't. I couldn't get vouchers. I worked at Bank of America, so I couldn't get vouchers. So I ended up paying out a lot, and it was hard for me to get over the hump and be able to start saving money, be able to buy my first car and do a lot of the things that a lot of people aren't able to do, because you struggle just being just living, just going through life. Some people struggle just being a person and don't have kids. So me having a son by myself, it was definitely an experience for me where it's like, if anybody else is going through what I'm going through, I definitely want to do my part to help out. And how I can do my part is making sure that people who are in my situation, who are not destitute and down and out, but they still need help, have that resource to go to, because right now we don't have a resource.
That's a fact, though.
So if you ask me what like my immediate future goals would be, that would be my immediate future goals, is to get that system in place to help everyone and to get that shopping center, like my name.
So what's your social media handles?
On IG, Ash, the number 4, the cash. On Facebook, Ashley Chesley. You got my email, chesleyholmes@gmail.com. You got my website, ashforthecash.com. You got TikTok, Black Planet. You got Twitter. What else is it? I don't know. Wherever you Ash for the Cash everywhere, you're gonna find me.
Okay, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. RinsRealRap.
Thank you for having me. RinsRealRap is the